Give me about a week to put my stories together. We are going to cover the top stories of the year 2023. It's always a revelation when I do this because some of the things that happened in the beginning of the year don't even seem like they happened this year. Time moves so quickly. Remembering back to January or February of this year seems like an eternity ago, or at least it does for me, maybe because I'm just so clued in and tuned in to everyday happenings and news. Seems like things that happened 11, 12 months ago seem like forever ago. Sometimes I got to I don't even remember who won the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Eagles, the New Orleans Bucks, because the Super Bowl is in February. The Chiefs won. Taylor Swift won the Super Bowl, pretty much, right? And maybe she makes another appearance at the Super Bowl. I'm kind of getting tired of Taylor Swift. She may come up at some point during today's show because I want to tackle something. You're saying, no, Rhea, you're not a Swiftie? You know who's the biggest Swiftie I've ever met in my entire life? He's a huge fan of the show. We love LT, LaRon Taylor, very much. This dude is a 55 or 56-year-old black man that goes bananas for Taylor Swift. He be posting Taylor Swift memes. So he's an African-American man. Again, we love you very much, LT. He was dealing with some health challenges. We support you 100%. So he's a 50-something-year-old African-American man that identifies as like a 17-year-old white girl from Shorewood, which is fine. Identify however you want to identify. I want to touch on a subject that I shouldn't today, and I'm going to be very careful and cautious in how I do so. Every now and again, I will touch on these subjects that, I don't know, some people may think it's taboo for a man to talk about certain things. But that's the point, right? Maybe I learned some things. Maybe you all learned some things. Interesting conversation may result. Because I want to learn more stuff where I may have a blind spot. You know what I also wish? I wish that more Caucasian branded talk radio discussed African-American issues. They don't talk about it. And maybe it's the fear of cancellation if they say something wrong. I think that if your heart is in a very good place, and it's easy to tell if somebody's heart is in a good place, we give them grace. We allow them to have some ignorance because it seems like they're trying. Well, I think when it comes to us, when it comes to black people, nobody really tries to understand. Some of our more liberal and progressive friends, they will do the best they can to try and understand, but even they have a boundary. They'll love on black people. They'll celebrate Black Lives Matter. Remember when everybody had a Black Lives Matter yard sign in the yard? Yard signs are gone, clearly telling us our lives only mattered for a little bit. But even they have a boundary. They don't necessarily want their kids to go to school with black kids. They love black people. They want black people to have all sorts of equality and fairness, but they don't want blacks too close. They appreciate diversity. I think diversity is beautiful. There are people from different places. They have different cultures. They eat different foods. They also have different ways of solving problems. And I think that the diversity that exists amongst us is the key to solving our problems. You ever wonder why we don't solve any problems? Because we are not utilizing the power in our diversity. Different people, different perspectives. We fail at that miserably. Just look at what they're trying to do to the UW system. Like, that is as bad as it gets. Removing anything and everything. Really, the broad term is affirmative action, which is loosely defined. It was an executive order that was signed March 9th, 1961 by John F. Kennedy. The federal government must take decisive and affirmative action to make sure that all minorities can have opportunities to work in the federal government. That's it. Kennedy wanted to make sure that African Americans who are citizens of this country, that pay federal taxes, that pay property taxes, that pay all the taxes, that we have the same opportunities to work for the government in which we fund as everybody else. And so then other entities, colleges and universities, even employers said, yeah, we want to make sure that our business, our university is reflective of American society. So then affirmative action kind of morphs into this thing. Well, now it's over. This is also an extension or an outgrowth of the courage that Donald Trump gave a segment of our society that some of us refuse to admit still existed. There's a lot of people that don't like us. And it's mostly because of ignorance. And so that is why I wish that Caucasian branded radio talked more about black people. They discussed us, but not in a negative way. I mean, they talk about it, the stuff that we've done, the crimes that we commit, but in more of like a thoughtful way, because I think that that would certainly help. However, I'm sure they assume that it's taboo for them to talk about us. And if they assume it's taboo to talk about us, then I cannot give them the benefit of the doubt that they are coming from a good place. That being said, I want to delve into feminism today from the perspective of a man. You can almost look at it like not exactly a one-to-one comparison. Imagine if an ultra right-wing, conservative, Caucasian branded radio station, radio network delved into the issues of African American struggle in this nation. It would be a fascinating conversation. Only if the host of that ultra right wing, super conservative talk radio show on a talk radio network that was conservative was thoughtful and well read on the issue and the subject of black people. And you know what's crazy? Because I know people that work in this industry, believe it or not. They're more well read and smarter than you think. Racist people sometimes know more about black people and black history than black people do. That sometimes is where their hate comes from. So I'm off under the illusion that, oh, the more they know about us, the more they'll like us, the more they'll understand us. They'll see how powerful we are and how smart we are. And if you go far enough back in history, black people made and created everything. If they go back far enough, they just read about us and they study us and they have more black history. I used to think this was ignorant Sherwin. I'm no longer ignorant Sherwin. That was me last week. Now I'm smarter Sherwin. I used to think that, oh, if they knew about us, then they would like us more, or they would at least treat us fairly because they would know how tough our trajectory in this country has been. Ladies and gentlemen, it might be the opposite. The more they know about us, the more they learn about us, the more they see how much we've done, how much we've created, how much we've invented. Because we did a lot of stuff and didn't really ask for money. I mean, we're asking for it now. But back when we were doing all the stuff and the labor was forced and our families were being stripped and ripped apart and we were being beat and murdered and maimed, we didn't ask for money. And the 40 acres and the mule wasn't even really our idea. We didn't ask for anything. Well, we're asking for it now. But the more they know about our history, the more racist they become. It's not just they're trying to, oh, we got to forget about slavery. Oh, that was a long time ago. Whenever we talk about the deep, dark past, it's this nation's history, which should not be a secret. And to some extent, I'm almost taking an opposite view of this. I want black history in schools because I think that it's going to help heal the world of the plague of ignorance that keeps us oppressed. When they learn how good we are, they're going to hate us more. That being said, when I talk about feminism, I want to do so in a very thoughtful way. Because even as powerful and broad, no pun intended, see, there I go, already starting. As powerful as many feminist movements have been in this nation, a group of legislators supported and propped up by a judicial system and courts, whether it be appellate courts or the Supreme Court or circuit courts, can take fundamentals away from women. That should be alarming. As much progress as women have made, it can be evaporated in a split-second decision. And so here's the other part that's kind of confusing. That's why I want to delve into this. I'm going to try and unravel this, and it's going to be tough, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate, but I'm used to the hate, because if I'm getting hate, then I'm doing it right. If everybody's loving on Sherwin, then I'm doing it wrong. Women sometimes can be the biggest impediment to the progress of women, just like some African-American black Negro folks can be the biggest impediment to black progress. And I want to delve into it. And the other thing I'm going to say before I take my little break is I don't think you can be a feminist of any type. And there's a bunch of different flavors of feminists. I prefer my feminist to be strawberry flavored. There's a bunch of different flavors of feminists. You can't be a feminist and not hate men. And they'll say, no, no, no. We don't hate men. Quite honestly, and I shouldn't say this, they probably should hate us. Not all of us, but a ton of us. They should, and they do. I talked about Lizzo yesterday. How you doing, Benjamin? You good? All right. You're amazing. Good to hear. I talked about Lizzo because I don't care what your chromosomal makeup is that makes you a biological man or a woman or somewhere in between or both. You're not immune from criticism. No one is holier than thou. No one is perfect. Everyone needs to be, told where they're messing up and where they're missing some necessary components. Nobody's immune. Black folks, we're not immune. And we know that. Everybody criticizes us. Fair enough. But nobody is immune. But how did certain things become so sacred? I know the Jews have been through a lot. They have. They had a real rough go. 20th century, not their best century ever. And I think they had a couple of bad centuries like a long time ago. But how did they become so sacred? How did they become more sacred than us? You got presidents of universities that are resigning now because the students on those campuses have their own independent view of a war that is killing children. Have you seen the pictures of the babies? There's a lot of babies that are dead. I wonder where our pro-life Republicans are on that. You can't be a feminist and not hate men. And I don't blame you if you do. Just like I don't know if you can be pro-black and not have some disdain for white people. You got to have a little bit, or you really hate what white people do. So we're going to figure out the world's problems today. I want to talk about money too. You know, that thing that everybody wants, and once they get it, they have no idea what to do with it. You know, that money that everybody wants. There is some good news policy-wise, and I'm actually glad that my very, very good friend, in fact, one of my best friends in the whole world, former State Representative Jason Fields, was the original curator of this legislation, I don't know, 2017, 2018, requiring financial literacy to graduate from any and or every public high school in Wisconsin. Now, it's not a lot of classes they got to take, but they have to take some class to graduate from, and they got to pass it in order to graduate from a high school. And I think it was limited in its scope. Now it is statewide. Now, it took a long time for this to come to fruition because Jason was working on this 6 or 7 years ago. And now it is, Governor Evers just signed this new law that's going to require Wisconsin high schools to take financial literacy courses to graduate. But in the long run, I think we are such a classist society that I don't even think it's going to help. If y'all think the poverty rates are going to go down because we're making high school kids take a quarter credit class on financial literacy, that ain't going to make them rich. So I want to talk about money, and I want to talk about feminism. I want to talk about man-hating. Might throw in some racial things as well. Can I just say I love Mexicans? Thank you. They don't get enough love. Like if they come over here, they're going to be the problem. No, they're not. It's only a problem if you don't speak Spanish. I love every Mexican woman named Maria. And other things. They've got other names. But Maria's top of my list. Okay, on that note, take a break. Rhea, you look like you mumbling under your breath. Why don't you put the camera on? Rhea looks great today.
Will not. I shan't.
Why not? You got a hat on?
You have a hat on.
I know, because my head shines. Not like the same hat. Yeah, well, it's a very similar hat.
I said we should go solve a crime.
We would probably be more likely to commit one, I think. But no, you look like you have a home, Rhea. Not that I want to embarrass you. See, y'all don't ever see Rhea. Y'all see me. There are some days where I question her living situation because I'm like, oh, Rhea's homeless today. Poor thing. She must not got her paycheck. But no, now you look like you live at least in an apartment. Still with a couple of roommates, you know what I mean? But you live in a place with an actual mailing address. You look like a registered voter today.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, let's take a break. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now, subscribe to 1017 The Truth, and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Hey, it's Jason Wildig for Associated Bank. Looking for a bank with home field advantage? You got it. At Associated Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors. That's why scoring a Packers checking account is the right play for your pay. And here's the kicker. Your Packers debit card gets you 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop. Join the team today. Open your Packers checking account at associatedbank.com/Packers. Associated Bank, the bank of the Packers since 1919. Your money works here. Member FDIC.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 101.7 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
The summer of 2023 will not soon be forgotten as the impact of climate change blanketed our city, literally. Canadian wildfire smoke gave Milwaukee some of the worst air quality in the nation, if not the world. Also, these impacts, because of climate change, showed us that there's yet another disparity for us to be concerned about. African Americans are much more likely to have respiratory illnesses, and black children are much more likely to have asthma. In fact, the Office of Emergency Management data shows a disproportionate amount of calls for respiratory issues because of that wildfire smoke, at 54.8% have been from African Americans. African Americans have higher rates of pre-existing health conditions that would be exacerbated by the particulate matter in that wildfire smoke that we know was caused from lightning and extreme drought conditions to our neighbor to the north in Canada. Black children are much more likely to have asthma than kids of any other races in America, and much more likely to live near polluting plants and in rental housing with mold and other triggers because of the racist housing policies in the nation's past. Their asthma is often more severe and less likely to be controlled because of poor medical care and the mistrust of doctors. Just when we thought we had all the disparities we could shake a stick at, here we go again with Canadian wildfire smoke as an extension of climate change negatively impacting African Americans. Climate change is a global issue. It is a national issue. It's a local issue. Admittedly, the black policy struggle for equality has not focused on climate change, but if the summer of 2023 has showed us anything, now it certainly should be.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Oh, the YouTube peanut gallery is in full effect. Trigger warning. Whole show is going to be a trigger warning. Good. Get triggered. Get a little triggered. Then, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. Get triggered at least once every single day. Then I want you to do something once you get triggered. Instead of having an issue with the person that triggers you, because can I be clear about something? It's going to hurt some feelings now, but, you know, it is what it is. Your triggers are not the world's problem. They're yours. The world doesn't know what triggers you. You know what triggers you. And if you're triggered by everything, you need to get to the source of that, because the world is not going to adjust itself to your sensitivity. So here's what I want y'all to do. Get triggered at least once every single day, and then find a way to cope. Find a coping mechanism, how you can get through someone that offends you accidentally, because nobody knows what sets you off. People don't know you like that. And even if they knew what sets you off, you can't expect other human beings to walk on eggshells. What's the biggest killer of a relationship? When somebody's got to be so careful and so cautious of what they say all the time. You can't say that. Don't say that to me. It hurts my feelings. You can't say that. And you walk on eggshells, because you know what that is? It's a manipulation. If you are triggered by everything and you want the world to just treat you with kid gloves, that's your problem. Now, if you're a child, I understand, because children don't have coping mechanisms. But if you're like 64 and just triggered by everything, oh, that person said this, well, that was offensive. You know what's crazy? People will get personally triggered when you're talking about somebody else, like not even that person, right? I talked about Lizzo. Lizzo don't listen to this show. Got mad at me for talking about Lizzo. I vowed to never talk. I can't make that promise. I actually like Lizzo. We played some of her songs. Do y'all know that when we play an artist's music, that artist gets financial credit? Rhea, do you have to submit a list? Do they used to have to submit a list of songs that we played to BMI and to ASCAP so the artist got credit for songs? Do we still do that? We don't do it no more? Probably shouldn't have said that. I don't think it's required, but I think that so that was a reason why, because my music has changed somewhat. My bumper music, the music we play between segments, has changed over time. So in the very, very beginning, like my first year that I was here at Good Karma Brands and 1017 The Truth, I featured African-American artists. A lot of them were deceased so that their estates could collect the revenue. But I don't know if we do that anymore. All right. See what the Peanut Gallery is saying. Zuri says, hey, Truth family, do it, Sherwin. We ready and you speaking facts. Big bad bully Barbara Smith says, I don't know what is problematic about being a feminist. I didn't say nothing was she already starting. Let me read her comment, because she always accuses me of not understanding her commentary. I'm going to read it in its entirety. I don't know what is problematic being a feminist. To advocate for women's rights and equality should be a no-brainer. I am a feminist and I love men. I do not love M/F, male, female, sexist, misogynist. Barbara, you love men when they agree with you. If a man has an opinion that is different than yours, and I got receipts on it. If a man has an opinion that is different than yours, even if that man is talking about something and someone that is not even related to you, you attack that man personally. You don't attack the argument. You don't attack what they said on its merits. You attack the person. And once we as a society and as a nation, as a bipartisan, bicameral democracy / republic can debate an issue without attacking the person, we'll get much further along. Because here's what happens. Somebody will bring up an argument that we don't like, and we don't have the tools to debate them back, so we attack the person. That's what we do. There's a term for that. What's the term? Is it ad hominem, where you attack the person? I think that's the term. Oh, look, Eastside Corey wants to talk to us. He wants to talk about feminism. Is this correct, Rhea? That's what he wants to talk about? All right, let's talk to the gay African-American man on feminism. Hello, Corey from the East Side. How are you?
Thank you for the title, of course, Thank you for assuming my pronouns for me.
What are your pronouns?
I don't have any.
Is it offensive if I call you
old,
queen?
Okay?
We know that.
No. My friends call me that.
Oh, they do.
Bitch.
Leave it, Rhea.
Got my tail up.
All right, go on, Corey. Don't get censored. Just keep going.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize to Rhea, not to you. I like Rhea. We have our own dialogue going on, and it's wonderful, just so you know.
I'm glad for y'all.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not even going down there, but I don't know if you can handle this topic today. This might be your last day.
I've
Sherwin.
heard it before. I'm going to be very respectful. I'm going to have an academic approach to the topic.
Oh, really? Okay. Like that's going to save you. Yeah. I mean, why do you think you're such an expert on women? Just based on your observations?
No.
Or are you well read?
Let me be abundantly clear. I'm not an expert on women. I've never purported to be an expert on women. But in having the conversation, because men and women have conflicts that are deeper and longer lasting than I think black people and white people in this country. And so I'm not going to shy away from the topic, right? Because if I talk about what I know or my lack of knowledge, someone will engage me and I'll be able to learn. See, this is our problem in our society. There's a topic that we don't know anything about and we're too afraid to discuss it. I'll never be an expert on women, but I would like to know more because I live in a society with them. And here's the other thing, because people are so confused. State Representative Dora Drake, who was in studio yesterday talking about what the UW system is going through and losing all of their DE&I. I raised $30,000 to get that woman elected. With no money from any of the people that call themselves feminists that hate me. State Senator Lena Taylor, who I love like a sister, I raised almost $100,000 so she could defend her Senate seat against Mandela Barnes in 2016 without a penny from any of these people that call themselves feminists.
Oh.
Joe Castazan-Maripa, we defended her when she was running as the first out LGBT woman, Hispanic woman in the Wisconsin State Assembly. I raised money for her to get her elected with not a single penny from any of these people that call themselves feminists. I ain't got to defend myself, but every now and again I need to show my proof.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, Dan. I appreciate that because you have to understand some people listening for the first time may not understand where you're coming from.
That is not what you called to talk about, though, Corey. You want to talk about feminism.
Well, yesterday when Miss Shack called, I was kind of I didn't like the way you handled that. It was kind of strange. It felt very what they call cringe because I like Miss Shack and I like anybody that has a great idea, and it kind of hurt my feelings that you seem to want to talk her out of it.
No one has ever been honest with her about her endeavor. This woman wants to acquire a Walgreens, and I understand what she wants to do, and I support what she wants to do. But here's the thing: she thinks that once she creates this school, which is an uphill battle to say the very least, that all of these black parents that want a particular kind of education for their kids are going to just flock to her. And maybe that's the case, but we got to be mindful of this. All of the black parents that want their beautiful black children to have a great education are not waiting for Miss Shack to build a school that only lives in Miss Shack's mind. Those parents are already putting their kids in those institutions of great education without having to wait for somebody to take a Walgreens and transform it. And everybody can have a great idea, Corey, but if your great idea requires $25 or $30 million to get off the ground, see, we think that our idea is so special that everyone is going to love it like we do, and they're just going to throw money at us. That is detached from reality, and I love black people, but we get an idea, and we're thoroughly convinced we're going to change the world until we see how hard it is to implement. And then what do? We quit, and we let everybody down.
I see your point of view on that, but it still felt like you could at least say, here are a couple of numbers from people that help you.
She's not even at that point yet. Because here's what I think y'all want to hear. Because we love Miss Shack. Linda is a significant part of this program and why it's so fun and why it's so entertaining. But here's what people want to hear. She has a good idea that is going to be extremely difficult to bring to fruition. Here's what y'all want to hear. Oh my God, Miss Shack, that's going to be so perfect. I can't wait. Oh my God, I'm going to have children just so I can enroll them in your school. It's going to be so. That's what y'all want to hear. But I love my people too much to lie to them. Black folks been lied to way too much. Oh my God, that's perfect. And she gets all this confidence for this idea, and the idea never happens. Then what?
I still think that you should at least support somebody's idea. They got to find out for themselves.
That's support, though, having her find out for herself. Because she needs to be able to deal with the hurdles first. Because if y'all think that if you have an idea, if you have a business endeavor, especially one that takes black children out of the public schools where there's a bounty on their head, right? So every black child that comes out of MPS and goes somewhere else, the district loses money. You got to keep in mind, MPS is a union-controlled endeavor, and the heads of those unions are white women that make their livelihoods off of black heads in those seats. And if Linda ain't ready to deal with that, then she might be better off being a McDonald's franchise owner.
Or maybe start her own homeschool on a small scale.
She has one now, but she wants to expand it to the Walgreens level. But, Corey, I got to take a break.
Okay, all right. Take care.
All right, then, Corey. You have a nice day. See, we're going to solve the world's problems. Like, y'all need to understand that, like, the support you get from, like, your friends and your family that coddle you, that's one thing. And first of all, that's not even support because they're not being honest with you. Like, they appreciate the fact that you have an idea. But if your idea is going to take years and years of hard work and dedicated fundraising, and if it's going to require years of study, like some of y'all will need to go back to school to get another degree to be successful in your business endeavors. I'm not just going to be like, oh my God, that's so wonderful. I'm so proud of you. You're going to be great. Now I can give you encouragement, but I also got to tell you how incredibly difficult these things are. Because then what happens when you fail? Nobody told me it was going to be this hard. Sherwin is telling you it's going to be that hard. Now, you can get mad at me all you want to, but ultimately it's going to make you better, smarter, and more prepared. We just have a low expectation for black people, and I'm tired of it. We are tough enough to be able to hear bad news and hard news. We hear it every single day. And just because you have a dream or have an idea doesn't mean everybody's going to coddle you. I got to take a break. I'm going to come back. Probably yell at somebody about something that I'm doing, even though my heart is in the right place. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back shortly.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We all want a healthy, thriving community, and we all thrive when we share our time, talent, treasure, and ties. The Greater Milwaukee Foundation is partnering with the community through the Greater Together campaign. Join the foundation in this campaign to advance racial equity through investments in housing, early childhood education, and more. Make an impact today and for generations to come at greatermilwaukeefoundation.org/campaign. Together, we can build a Milwaukee for all.
Unleash the spirit of Ujamaa. Join CLAW for their pre-Kwanzaa workshop, celebrating cooperative economics and vibrant African culture. On Sunday, December 17th, join CLAW for an enriching day of food, fun, and entertainment to explore the principle of Ujamaa. Listen to their workshop speakers, see the captivating drum and dance performances, along with exciting raffle and door prizes. To register, visit eventbrite.com and search CLAW so you can be a part of this vibrant celebration and embrace the principles of Kwanzaa.
Severe flooding from recent hurricanes and other storms has left hundreds of thousands of cars, trucks, and other vehicles unsafe to drive. Flooded vehicles are supposed to be dismantled for usable parts or crushed for scrap, and a flood title should be issued to that car. But some shady dealers will buy a flooded vehicle, clean it up, and get it retitled with no indication it was flooded. Or uninsured cars will be cleaned up by the owner and sold online, also with no warning to the buyer. If the price is too good to be true, it probably is. Make sure to check for flood damage and have a qualified mechanic inspect the vehicle before you write a check. The free VIN check service from the National Insurance Crime Bureau is a good place to start. Head over to nicb.org to check it out.
To report fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. This is a public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. Well, all good things must come to an end, and that includes a 3-game Packer win streak as a wild fourth quarter ended with a walk-off 37-yard field goal by the Giants to secure the 24-22 win over the Packers on Monday night.
Obviously, extremely disappointed. I think our team learned a valuable lesson in terms of you don't play your best. It doesn't matter who you're playing, where you're playing, when you're playing. You're not going to win the game.
With the loss, Green Bay now falls to 6-7 on their season. Will face off with Tampa Bay on Sunday. From bad news to good news, as the Milwaukee Bucks bounce back on Monday night, beating the Chicago Bulls in overtime by a final of 133-129.
Lillard takes the feed. He's going to take it in and flush it down with the right hand.
With the win, the Bucks improving to 16-7 on their season and will face off with Indiana on Wednesday night. This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number, which a lot of you have, if you want to call or text, is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Bruce City sent a text message, and they say, "Hey, Sherwin, you should do a dual show on your topic today with one of the hosts from the 620 side, if that's possible. That way both sides are listening real time and can call in with their comments or questions." So John Mercure and I, this was 2021, we did a 3-hour show in the evening, drive time, on WTMJ, right? Highest rated, most listened to. So the WTMJ tower, for those of you that don't know, goes from, you can listen on the radio, 6:20 a.m., from like the Illinois state line to damn near Escanaba, Michigan. It's like 1 million plus people in their signal range. So we did a show on segregation. And I thought it was very insightful. I thought it was very good. I thought we checked all the boxes. And John Mercure, he's a Republican, but not a Trumper. He's a moderate Republican. He did way more listening than he did talking. He was very, very thoughtful. We had experts on from the fields of education and policy. We had a whole bunch of guests. It was really, really good. Here's the part that made it difficult for me. The text, because they got a text message line over there too. Oh, the hate. Oh, people were just so hateful. Even though we were trying to do a service and we wanted to show, an African American who represents one side of the political spectrum, bringing my experience and then like information, like academic information and details and facts and history and data and statistics, and then engaging the audience as best I could, and then also bringing on experts in a variety of subject matters. And people you blacks are lazy and there's nothing that can help you black people. There's no racism anymore. So we're combating a lot of that. So even though I thought the show was useful and worthwhile, I don't know if I would do something like that again, because that audience has been groomed over the last 70 years. And you don't undo that, not with 1 3-hour show. But, it was also, I guess, good practice to deal with people that have opposing opinions. Because the truth people that listened just basically agreed. But that listening audience had never been exposed to that kind of information before. You know what it is? Sometimes they want to shield themselves from guilt. So they attack the person that's giving them information that may make them feel guilty. Racism doesn't like to feel guilty. It likes to feel correct. If you make it feel guilty or make it feel bad, then they're going to start removing the history books because it makes them feel guilty. They're going to have to explain to their kids why mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa used to protest open housing in Milwaukee. Then these people are going to have to explain to their kids and their grandkids why they wanted to keep the schools segregated, and they don't want to have to do that. They don't want to have to reckon with how they participated in a black community that is underserved, underfunded, under-resourced, and under-respected. They don't want to do that. They want to make it our fault. So when you try and clear the air by providing the factual, chronological information that led to what you see every single night on the news, they attack the person that has that message. They're very anti-academic. That's why they're attacking the UW system. That's why they don't want first-generation students and students of color to have any additional support programs in the UW school, because then people will go and get smart and they'll get all the information. They'll be able to spread it like the gospel, and they'll be able to tell white people how they've been acting has been ignorant. They don't want that. They want to make it as difficult as possible. Ron Johnson even said we can close all the colleges because people can just learn stuff on YouTube. That's insane. They're anti-academic. How often have you heard a Republican say, oh, these colleges just breed more liberals? You got to think about that for a second. Why would they say something like that? These colleges breed more liberals. They're beacons of liberalism, all these liberals and all of the lefties. Yeah, because the lefties are smart. As weird as this may sound, and if you look at things in today's terminology, it may not make any sense, but the founders of this nation, let me be abundantly clear, didn't give their wives or their daughters or women any kind of rights whatsoever. Native Americans weren't even citizens to them. But they were liberal elites. They were all educated like at Harvard and Yale. They were all wealthy and rich and highly educated. They were very well read. These were literally the smartest men in America at the time. Now, they owned people. They did a lot of raping, did a lot of destroying of the families, didn't want to give black people any rights whatsoever. But they were liberal elites. So when we celebrate the founding fathers, you are celebrating people that went to the finest universities on the planet. Harvard, I can't tell you how many founding fathers went to Harvard, more than a few. Harvard is a university that is older than the country it is in. It has been graduating people since 1642. It is a premier university. You know what else is crazy about Harvard? American kids are too dumb to get in. 2017, 2018 school year, somewhere around there, for the first time ever, 51% of the incoming class, freshman class at Harvard, were foreign born. American kids too dumb. Uncle Steve says, need you to relate what you said about feminists having to hate men in order to be a feminist, the differences between black power and white power, because those forces are diametrically opposed. If the yin and the yang, diametrically opposed forces combined, it would just be a gray circle, right? They're counter and contrary. They're the antithesis to one another, and that's okay. But to be one, you have to have a high level of disdain for the other. I'm going to pause there, take a break, come back. We're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. You can download the Truth app. If you ever miss a show, you see, download the Truth app. You can go on there and hit a button or something, push play. When I interview people, I think it's on the app. You can go to the Spotify, Apple Tunes, Apple Play, Google Store Place. You can listen to the show all the places. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
The award-winning 101.7 The Truth is the proud home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. Tune in Tuesday night at 6 p.m. as we will have our City Conference Coaches Show hosted by Lance Davis. Lance will speak with 4 City Conference coaches about how the season has gone so far and break down everything you need to know about City Conference basketball. Again, that is the Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Coaches Show Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Whether you're an aspiring athlete or someone aiming for a healthier, stronger life, look no further. JT19 Fit has got you covered. JT19 Fit's program, powered by Train Heroic, offers tailored exercises with video demonstrations and expert coaching cues. Visit their website at jt19fit.com and click on a program to discover more. Elevate your fitness journey with JT19 Fit today.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. But prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Unbelievable. You dress like a normal person one day and you want to inquire. You always talk about my fashion. I'm the most fashionable Truth host. Melanie, who we love very much, she'll come in here looking real homeless. But then, like, she'll do a Bucks game and get all star-studded. Melanie knows that she looks homeless sometimes.
She looks good.
Melanie be coming in here wearing
I think your vest sets you back a little bit, the bright orange vest.
I'll wear that vest tomorrow. The vest is dope. Kiana says, being a feminist does not mean you have to hate men. It's not diametrically, as you put it. That's like saying I have to be anti-white to be pro-black. No, we just say that to save face. You know what that's like? That's like somebody being racist. Say, no, but I have black friends. No, I'm pro-black. I'm not anti-white. Listen to somebody pro-black talk, academically even. There's a lot of disdain because they don't differentiate like they should, because it's all in the semantics. They don't differentiate whiteness from white people. Whiteness is created. It's manufactured. It was created to be an oppressive system. White people are great. White people are who you go tailgating with. White people are the ones that have ugly sweater parties. White people are the ones that do beer bongs. White people are the ones that have really poorly executed dance moves, but are just fun to be around in general. They're carefree. They have no worries. They have no hangups. They don't know what discrimination is like. Do you know how that changes your character? If you never fear being judged because of the color of your skin, it is almost unrelatable. There's a freeness. That's why they do stuff like climb mountains, and they go take African safaris, and they pet gorillas. That's why they keep house lion. They get a lion, and they keep it in the house. You know what I mean? Like they'll go to like Indonesia and ride a zebra. They just don't care. They're not afraid of anything. It's very admirable. Dion says, we have to be more aware of the things that are going on in our own community and this country. the white Christian nationalist movement is on a rise, and they're going to take their country back, as they always. I don't think voting is enough, but hey, what other weapons do we have to use? So I don't know when they've ever lost the country. They've never, and I get your point, Dion, but they've never, they think, and I got some birth rate statistics. This is why they're trying to ban abortion nationally. This blew my mind. Like, I kind of knew that birth rates for white people and white women were declining. That's because the white population in this country is just older. But the birth rates for like Asian and Pacific Islanders, Latinos, Hispanics, and black people is higher. So those three minority groups have double-digit percentage higher birth rates than white people. So as time goes on, there will be more brown children, and that is where a lot of this panic comes from. But the Christian nationalist movement, which is like a reinvention, because racism reinvents itself, it becomes like, it updates like technology does. The racism that existed in 1960 is a lot different than the racism that exists in almost 2024. Just like the cars in 1960 are not like the cars in the year almost 2024. It's just more sophisticated now. But as long as black people so vehemently subscribe to Christianity, the white supremacy that's embedded in Christianity is going to keep white people in charge. We're not ready for that conversation because that's going to blow the lid on a whole bunch of stuff. If you can get the people that you want to oppress, any people, not just us over here, if you can get the people you want to oppress, you want to stop their progress, you don't want them to get rich, you don't want them to get educated, you don't want them to own property, you don't want them to have assets, have them believe in the God of the oppressor. That's it. Then everything else goes on autopilot. And even though people will say, no, I have my own relationship with God. Sure you do. Sure you do. If you can keep oppressed people believing in a deity and a book and scriptures and stories that is the exact same as the people that hate them, you've got those people forever. You have their children. You have their children. You have the lineages of their families forever. Now, I'm not telling y'all to abandon your religion because for some of you, it's all you know. It's all you got. God has helped you. Faith has gotten you through. I need you to have faith. You got to have faith in something. If it's a book, if it's in Jesus, whatever it is, because faith gets us through, just know that that was a system that was devised with our oppression in mind. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2. Please stay tuned. I'm going to start hour 2 with a very special audio clip.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Join the Salvation Army at 620 WTMJ for a festive celebration this Saturday. Local brass and percussion players will fill the air with the magic of Christmas music at the annual Big Brass Blast. Come down to the 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee December 16th from noon to 1 p.m. Big Brass Blast is free to attend and open to the public. Donations at the event will support the Salvation Army's Red Cattle campaign. It's the annual Big Brass Blast December 16th at the 3rd Street Market Hall.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or a warm meal to eat, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
But the good news is, there's an organization making a big difference. Covenant House.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and the tools they need to succeed in life.
I have no words to express how Covenant House changed my life. They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, and love, most of all love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges, and their lives are transformed.
Covenant House is changing the lives of young people in cities across America.
To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near ports and along freight corridors breathe especially high levels of this dirty air. But this crisis has a solution. My name is Sasan Sadat, and I work for Earth Justice. I'm working to clean up our air quality, particularly for communities that bear the burden of diesel pollution. For the sake of our lungs, our health, and our climate, the future of trucking in this country has got to be zero emissions. Until then, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Earth Justice is fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. If clean air matters to you, visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tori Lowe Show on 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
January 12th, 1999.
My name is Fountain Hughes. My grandfather belonged to Thomas Jefferson, and now I am 101 years old.
They are voices that break a silence.
We were slaves. We belonged to people. They sell us like they sell horses and cows.
Witnesses to a time we only know from photographs and the written word. But they were there.
We stood on that picket fence all day long, seeing them soldiers going back to silent zones in different places. Colored soldiers in Joe.
Born to slavery.
But we didn't have no property, we didn't have no home.
And now we can hear them speak.
Because you're nothing but a dog. You're not a thing but a dog.
Found voices, the slave's life, told by those who lived it.
From ABC News, this is Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
Imagine for a moment what it'll be like for Americans 2 or 3 generations hence. Assuming, of course, that we haven't blown ourselves back into the Stone Age and that someone can still figure out what format everything was in. Assuming all of that, our great-great-grandchildren will know more about us than any generation in the history of the world has ever known about its ancestors. There'll be photographs, of course, black and white and color, audio cassettes, and in a few families, 8 and 16 millimeter film. And there will be thousands upon thousands of miles of videotape on which we will have recorded everything that struck us as interesting or funny or important about the milestones of our lives and those of our friends and families. They will be able to see and hear us long after we are dead. Imagine if we could only do the same. If we could only bring back the voices and images, and most important of all, the memories of those who lived 100 or more years ago. Well, brace yourselves for a minor miracle. For reasons I'll explain as we go along, we have the voices and the memories and a few black and white photographs to go along of some men and women who were born, some of them 150 years ago. And what makes these recollections all the more remarkable is that these men and women had been bought and sold like so much livestock.
Tell you the truth, when I think of it today, I don't know how I'm living.
I remember that just as well look like to me, I can.
Been slaves all our lives, and mother was a slave, sister was a slave, father was a slave.
They know nothing about reading right. All that I know, they teach you to mind your master and your missus. Mom and them didn't know where to go. You see, after freedom go, just like he turned something out, you know, didn't know where to go.
They are haunting voices from the past.
Not actors reading a script or scholars reading a text, but the actual voices of men and women, Americans, who were born in slavery.
My name is Fountain Hughes. I was born in Charlottesville, Virginia. My grandfather belonged to Thomas Jefferson. My grandfather was 115 years old when he died. And now I am 101 years old.
Incredible as it seems, we are listening to the voices of ex-slaves telling of their lives in bondage. Men like Fountain Hughes on the living conditions of slaves in Virginia in the 1860s when he was a teenager.
Other people didn't have no beds when they were slaves. People slept on the floor. Pallet here, pallet there. Just like a lot of wild people. We didn't know nothing. Didn't like to look at no book.
Women like Laura Smalley, describing the makeshift church where slaves worshipped on a big plantation in East Texas.
All the church would have be a tub of water sitting just like this thing is, you know, and that would catch your voice, and they would have church around that tub, all of them get around the tub.
Or Harriet Smith, remembering what she saw as a small girl during the final days of the Civil War.
We said, I stood on that picket fence all day long, seeing them soldiers going back to San Antonio and different places. Colored soldiers in droves. That's right along by our house. Our home is a two-story house, a white folks.
These recorded memories were among thousands of interviews done with ex-slaves in the 1930s and 40s. The majority were written interviews published in pamphlets and books. A handful were recorded on the latest equipment of the day, 200-pound portable recorders that a hearty band of folklorists lugged across the South.
You rather go free, you know. That, of course, but I have...
These recordings, once scratchy, distant, filled with the crackle and pop of that primitive equipment,
Nothing worries me. My head ain't even white.
Now have been cleaned up through the magic of modern technology, digitized.
I'm the oldest one that I know that's living.
The age of the computer has reached back to polish a memory from another century, 150 years ago.
Can you remember slavery days very well?
Of course, I remember all our white folks, and all the names of them, all the children. Call every one of the children's names.
Who did you belong to?
Jim Button, the baby boy.
The results of these digitally enhanced recordings are arresting, almost unbelievable. The idea of hearing the voices of actual slaves from the plantations of the Old South is as powerful, as startling really, as if you could hear Abraham Lincoln or Robert E. Lee speak. Listen again to Fountain Hughes, who was born in 1848.
We were slaves. We belonged to people. They sell us like they sell horses and cows and hogs and all like that. Have an auction bench, and they put you up on the bench and bid on you, the same as bidding on cattle, you know.
Much of what these three former slaves say may at first seem unremarkable. Much of what they say may surprise and upset, and their calm demeanor is at odds with the evil and violence we associate with slavery. Here is 91-year-old Texan Laura Smalley talking in the 1940s about the outcome of a tussle between two women, one black, one white, one slave, one mistress. The mistress tried to slap the slave, but the black woman pushed her into a chair. Laura Smalley was a girl at the time, but she remembers vividly what happened to the black woman when the master came home.
Well, the thing that old woman told old woman cat in the peach orchard and whipped her. And, you know, just tied her hand this way, you know, around the peach orchard tree. I remember that just as well, looked like to me, I can't, and round the tree and whipped her. And, well, she couldn't do nothing but just kick her feet, you know, just kick her feet. But it just had her clothes off down to her waist, you know. They didn't have her plumb naked, but they had her clothes down to her waist. And every now and then they'd whip her, you know, and then snuff the pipe out on her, you know. She snuffed pipe out on her. You know, the end was in the pipe. And where you ever see the pipe smoking?
Blow them out on her?
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, have mercy.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. So the first time I heard that 1999 audio was from an episode of Nightline, I was as arrested as Ted Koppel said we should be when you hear the actual voices of slaves. Most people alive right now, unless you've heard that audio or saw that episode of Nightline in 1999, you never heard the voices and the actual sentiments, like heard their voices. You've read their words, but you never heard them speak. And there was something about that was it was mesmerizing and captivating. And you know what I got from that? I can't tell you how many times I've heard that clip because it grounds me. That's a reality check for me because we all the time speak on behalf of slavery and we blame slavery and because of slavery and you owe us money because of slavery. Listen to the voices of the people that dealt with and lived through the torture and the turmoil. Fountain Hughes, no relation, I don't think, says, I'm not worried about a thing. My head isn't even white. So he ain't even got gray hair because of worry. We now are more angry at slavery than people that were actual slaves. Let me do you one better. And this informs why I was so anti-reparations. And somebody had texted in saying that they are proud of my growth because I used to be anti-reparations. I still am in the common way that most African American folks think that they need to be repaired with money. Those people that you heard, do you think that they did what they did and suffered the way they suffered to pay us? I need you to think about that for a second. Do you think they experienced a living nightmare for their entire lives because the trauma of what they dealt with doesn't go away? Now, what do we say we have? We have intergenerational trauma. No, I'm talking about the people that actually dealt with the institution from the inside. But we think we deserve their money. We don't. Now, I have modified my stance. I'm looking at oppression right now and what they're doing right now. How black neighborhoods are undervalued by about $160 billion just because African-American homeowners occupy that space. They need to pay us for that, not for what Fountain Hughes and Laura Smalley dealt with in their formative years. To listen to those voices and to think that what they went through should equate to you getting a check is insanity to me. That is no reverence for them. That is no respect for them. That is not giving any honor to their memory. What they went through should not equate to dollars for us right now. What is happening in these modern times, how we are still not given a fair shake, how they are still trying to make it more difficult for us to vote and taking away necessary support programs when we enter institutions of higher education. That is what we need to be compensated for or have those wrongs be righted right now. But to take their money? No, thank you. I would never. That's blood money in the highest form because the blood is of our people. I also found it very interesting that Fountain Hughes said he was from Charlottesville, Virginia, where 168 years later, 168 years after Fountain Hughes was born, there was the situation that happened where there was a group of people that wanted to tear down a statue of Robert Lee, and several people, including Heather Heyer, were either killed or injured. It's amazing how things come full circle. I just found that so incredibly poignant that he is from a town that saw essentially a modern day race massacre because there are people in Charlottesville, Virginia that do not need to have a statue of a treasonous, murderous, racist traitor. Like, you got to keep in mind, the Confederacy tried to form their own country to preserve the institution of buying and selling black people. And we celebrate that. And what that does, it's almost like Trump is the modern Confederate statue because he represents a part of American history that we need to some kind of way resolve. And so my stance on reparations is highly evolved because when you hear the voices of people, and like, here's the thing, Fountain Hughes and Laura Smalley, I'm assuming very little levels of education, if any, probably no formal schooling. I guarantee they couldn't read. It was illegal to teach black people how to read until like 1865, 1866. Do you understand that? We've only been reading for, what's the math on that? 160 years, give or take? That's not even a long time to be. Now, there was obviously black people that knew how to read prior to that, but not in schools. It was literally illegal. We've only been literate for less than 2 centuries. But what you didn't hear from them, and there's a whole bunch of interviews. They were discovered like in the late 1990s, these interviews that were done with, and the interviews are from like the 40s and 50s. But they were discovered in the late 1990s, and the tapes were digitized, and some of them are on the internet. It's fascinating, fascinating stuff. But they could have been like, we want money. We worked, and we toiled in the fields, and they beat us, and they whipped us, and they separated our families. You didn't hear none of that from them. Fountain Hughes could be like, y'all owe me $388,000 plus interest. He didn't say that. But we think we can get that money that he wasn't even asking for. And here's the thing. I'm not telling y'all to not want compensation for somebody else's work. I don't want compensation for somebody else's work. And I cannot profess for a moment to know what it was like. I can only close my eyes and imagine the worst case scenario. It's all I can do is try and imagine it. And it's extremely unpleasant to even think about. But then I look at where we all are right now. Even if you're not in the best situation, even if you still got issues and problems you need to resolve, even if you still feel the sting of oppression every single day, you look around, you see everybody that has things and they're doing things and they, have intergenerational wealth, and you feel like you're left out of all of that. I get it. But I don't think that we are owed based on what they've been through, because the lives that we live, you got to think about this hard now. I'm going to take a break in a second. I want you to think about this. The lives that we live right now, while less than perfect, and there is still measurable racism and oppression, it's now really infected our political system, and we're going to nominate somebody in our city of Milwaukee that wants to reinstate the most evil parts of that old, antiquated institution. The lives we live now, which are far from perfect, are still the dreams of the people that we heard on that audio. No, you don't have a big house. No, you don't have $1 million in the bank. Maybe the police still mess with you. You got a flat screen TV. You got access to the internet. You can go wherever you want. You can go to restaurants. You can go to shops. You can go to stores. Most days you can move about freely and no one says anything. You can get on a train, sit wherever you want. You can get on a bus, sit wherever you want. You can get on an airplane. You can go swimming. You can do all this. They couldn't even go swimming in public pools. The lives we live right now, while not perfect, no, we're not living the lives that you see people living on Instagram, but the lives we live now. Even the most destitute of a black life right now is the dream of a slave. I don't think that we deserve their money. However, we do owe them to continue to live their dream. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey Truth Nation, it's your girl Melanie Ricks from Nothing But the Truth, and I am so happy to let you know the best radio show in Milwaukee is now streaming live on YouTube every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. Yes, your daily power hour of nonstop entertainment is coming at you live on YouTube every weekday. So Truth Nation, make sure you don't miss Benjamin and I give our hot takes or our Freaky Friday story by watching us live on YouTube and subscribing to 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When it comes to getting the smile of your dreams, you can't just trust anyone. So look no further than Bubon Orthodontics. Bubon Orthodontics is Wisconsin's #1 Invisalign provider and has been providing the best value for braces and Invisalign since 1993. With 15 convenient locations, you're sure to find one in your area. Schedule your free consultation today. Call or text 262-522-7447 or visit bubonortho.com. Bubon Orthodontics, a family treating families. Unleash the spirit of Ujamaa. Join CLAW for their pre-Kwanzaa workshop, celebrating cooperative economics and vibrant African culture. On Sunday, December 17th, join CLAW for an enriching day of food, fun, and entertainment to explore the principle of Ujamaa. Listen to their workshop speakers, see the captivating drum and dance performances, along with exciting raffle and door prizes. To register, visit eventbrite.com and search CLAW so you can be a part of this vibrant celebration and embrace the principles of Kwanzaa.
Why? Why take a chance? Why risk a mistake? Why say something? We all have reasons why we choose to ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right. The word why can either paralyze us or empower us to stand up and protect what we love. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my family.
I see safe for my friends.
I see say for my students.
We see say for each other.
I see say because all of this matters.
We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies this community we're all a part of. So protect your everyday. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back. Par for the course. In the YouTube comments. Somebody, what'd they say? Who said that? It must have been Zuri. What'd you say, Zuri? Where is the comment? Hold on, everybody relax. Everybody calm down. Well, I'll take yours because I know my ancestors worked. Oh, my reparations? You're not going to get it in the form that you want it. If there ever is, and it's going to be a while. Those of us that are alive right now, I don't know if we'll ever see anything. But as time goes on, there's more conversations about reparations. In fact, there's some cities around the country that have experimented with things. There's a town, I think, in like northern Illinois where they experimented with like low interest loans for African Americans because they looked at housing discrimination and they tried to do something specific for African Americans who have been kept out of the dream of owning your own home. There's a California town that I think flirted with. California is usually like a laboratory for democracy. California tries things that may or may not work in the rest of the country, but California always starts. Why California is such a weird place? California started with marijuana legalization. They're like, oh, let's try it here and see what happens in the rest of the country. Now look at us. Proposition 215 was in 1996. That's when marijuana was legalized for medicinal purposes in California. Now it's probably legal in, you got better than 90, 100 million people that live in a state where marijuana is legal in one form or fashion. California had this thing called California emissions back in the 1970s where they wanted to have lower emission standards for cars because they had concerns about the environment back then. And now look at where we are when it comes to car fuel efficiency standards. And quite honestly, that was the beginning of the boom in electric vehicles that pollute less and put less carbon into the atmosphere. There are a couple of California towns that put together ideas and budgets. And I think there was a proposal in the California State Assembly to talk about like what the compensation would be for black Californians. And it's like trillions of dollars. And they were talking about cash payments. But I don't think that reparations will come in the form that black people want them to come. That ain't how it works. Let me give you an example, and then we're going to go to line one and talk to, oh, geez. I'll let y'all guess who that is on line one when my response is, oh, geez. Barack Obama was not the form, type, and style of black president that you may have wanted, but he's what you got. Your reparations are not going to come in the form in which you want them. You're just going to have to accept what you get. The idea of universal basic income is something that former presidential candidate Andrew Yang floated. He would do this really weird stuff. So he raised a fair amount of money for his failed presidential campaign. This is back in, must have been 2016. Yeah, when we had a big Democratic primary for president. No, 2016, because Biden won in 2020. He would give people, just like from his campaign, he would just send random people. Like if you contributed money to Andrew Yang's campaign, dude would just send you $1,000 randomly. And he said that universal basic income could help because a lot of people are losing jobs and they're being downsized, and automation and artificial intelligence is taking the American workforce away and basically evaporating them. Universal basic income could be a form of reparations, but here's the problem we're going to have with it. We're not going to want anybody else to get it. There are very, very few things that African Americans get or are entitled to that nobody else can get. If there is a problem, or if there's an issue rather, and the problem is solved by some kind of public assistance, by a grant, by a loan, by food assistance, energy assistance, rent assistance, etc., everyone will qualify for it. We'll qualify for it too, but everybody else has to qualify for it as well, because if not, those other groups that qualify will sue under an equal protections clause in the Constitution. So y'all got to inform your perspective a little bit. There may be a program that everybody will qualify for, but we have to look at that as a part of our compensation package too. But we won't want to see it that way. If we get universal basic income, if you're of a certain age and if you have a certain level of education, they'll also combine things like your household size, your household income. You may be entitled to $500, $1,500, $2,000 a month. Now, they're not going to call it reparations, but if you qualify for it, and if it's money that you are getting, especially money in perpetuity, you've got to count that. You think there's anybody anywhere in this country, somebody in the power structure? This is the same power structure that took women's right to choose away in the blink of an eye. Do you think that they are going to sit down? Because if they have that kind of power, they have a tremendous amount of power over the fates and futures of black people and black children. You think that those people are going to come together and say, you know what, it's about time we do right by the blacks. Let's all cut them some checks. You don't really think that. We engage in fantasy a little bit too much. And there's time for fantasy. But then there's also time for reality. Like when Linda called yesterday, y'all are mad at me about, I shot Linda's idea down. I wasn't treating her with kid gloves, and I was overwhelmingly supportive. Because here's what's crazy. Y'all been knowing about Linda's idea for like a year and a half, if not 2 years. Ain't not nan one of y'all offered to send her a dime. Hey, Linda, we want to help you. First time she talked about it. One of y'all can say, hey, Linda, I want to send you $50. I want to help you out. Y'all ain't sending her a penny. And even if she gets the idea off the ground, you still ain't going to give her no money. So don't get mad at me for being realistic. Y'all ain't gave her a penny. What is it, Robert? I'm sorry, Rocco.
Sherman, that is
Sherwin! Bob, listen to me.
Sherwin.
Say it with me. Say it first, 2 syllables. Sure. Say it. Say sure.
Sure.
Win.
Win.
Put them together.
Okay, now listen. Sherwin.
There it is.
Okay. See, that is some good stuff, man. I mean, never would I thought when I was coming up there would be a black woman that made 3 arrogant white men be a witness. She's from Atlanta. I'm talking about Pence, Giuliani, and I can't remember the other. And Pence, I can't believe him. He had the audacity to run for president after kissing up to Trump for 4 years. Okay, you did one thing right. You didn't sign the papers. Okay, well, we supposed to... What? You know how you looked for 4.5 years? And then you have the audacity to run for president? And then my last point, sir. I cannot believe so many people are voting for a man that made fun of getting of a man being hit with a hammer. Pelosi's husband. He's not even in politics. How in the world could you? I shudder when I think about a man getting hit with a hammer and he made fun of it, and you voting for him? Oh. If Biden did that, I have to be like Dion. I just can't vote. I couldn't. I pray for a third party. To make fun of a man getting hit with a hammer? You're voting for him? Oh, please. That's it, Shane. Excellent topic. And, good stuff, man.
Thanks, good Rocco. Stuff. Appreciate it.
Oh, please.
You mess my name up all the time. I'm finna call you Rocco.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye.
Talk to you.
Goodbye, Rocco. Goodbye. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Make sure you download the Truth app so you can listen to other shows that are oftentimes a lot better than mine. If you go on the Truth app, you can listen to all of them and download podcasts for shows you may have missed. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? We all know it happened and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis and he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. That's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and,
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute, even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit Versity.org today.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Disability Rights Wisconsin Medicare Part D Helpline is here to help disabled or elderly Medicare beneficiaries with questions about their Part D prescription benefits. The Part D Helpline may be able to help you save money on your Part D premium, deductible, and copays. Medicare annual open enrollment period runs October 15th through December 7th. For free, unbiased assistance, please call the Disability Rights Wisconsin Medicare Part D Helpline any time of the year at 1-800-926-4862.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I am still going to talk about feminism, just introduce a new concept, a new idea. My whole point is, so different people listen to this program at different times, or different people chime in. If you ever could see like a graph of real-time listenership, it'll go like way up, then it'll go down, and it'll peak and valley and peak and valley. And when it peaks, that's when a bunch of people, maybe even new people, are listening for the first time. So at any point in time when you listen to this program, hopefully you hear something you never heard before, something that is worthy of discussion. And if you would like to continue these discussions, there is a corresponding Facebook group to this program. It is called Hughes Views. Your membership has to be approved. It's a private group. The things that are posted cannot be shared. I personally approve everybody in the group, and I take responsibility for the content. But you can be yourself. As long as you disagree civilly, everything is fine in the group. Some of the articles that I refer to on the program, I'll post in there for people to read and do further research on, etc. And also, limited profanity is allowed because you're all grown adults. So if you guys want to express yourself with 4-letter words, that's perfectly fine in the Hughes Views Facebook group. All right, let's talk about money. New law requires Wisconsin high schoolers to take financial literacy course to graduate. Despite its importance, for a lot of Americans, managing their personal finances continues to be a challenge. But a new Wisconsin law hopes to help change that. This is from TMJ4.com. After getting overwhelming support from both the Assembly and the state Senate, Bill 109, which requires high schoolers to complete a half credit of personal financial literacy in order to graduate, was made official last Wednesday by Governor Tony Evers. It should be noted that my very good friend, our community's very good friend, Jason Fields, spearheaded this legislation, 2017, 2018. I think it was his last term in the legislature. He got a limited version of this bill passed where I think it was required for, MPS students. I thought it was statewide, but obviously not. So this is great. And it's sad that it has taken this long. So one example, like I know a little bit about money. Doesn't mean I got a ton of it. I mean, I'm all right. I can live. Let me tell y'all something real quick, because I'm honest if I'm nothing else. You know I'm on a plant-based diet. Y'all know that. I ate a steak last night. Holy smokes. I understand. Look, I don't have any like moral obligations against meat, because some people are like, oh no, animals are people, don't eat animals. No, animals are delicious. I love them. They taste fantastic. I wanted to be on a plant-based diet because I get more mileage out of my exercise, right? So if you eat, and it depends on your metabolism and your body type and how you burn fuel, and how many days a week you're in ketosis. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Like losing weight and being healthy is more science than it is probably anything else. So some of y'all you're better off just doing what you're doing, and it is what it is. But I wanted to feel better. I wanted to have more energy. I wanted to have more mental clarity. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted my cholesterol to go down, all that other stuff. So that is the reason why I'm on a majority plant-based diet. But man, I had a steak. I was speaking in tongues, having a steak. But no, I don't eat meal every single meal. I don't do that. But I just had to throw that in there. All right, anyways. So when I was in high school, I graduated from high school in 1993. In September, we had our 30-year reunion, which I did a show on it, or at least an hour or so on my 30-year reunion. And, relationships that were frayed or were unrepaired back when I was in high school, I got to see some of those people, and it was a beautiful experience. I would encourage you all to go to your high school reunions, even if you feel like you don't want to go and you don't want to see those people. Nah, go see them, because I guarantee you that's the last time you'll ever see those people ever again. Because people in my high school class, they're dying, which is very unnerving because I don't think of us as old. But a part of my high school curriculum when I was a junior, this was a requirement to graduate from Broward High School. If you did not pass this class, you were not going to get a diploma. It was one class. It was either a year or a semester. It might have just been a semester, quite honestly, of economics with Jim Carpenter. May he rest in peace. He also was my football coach. I don't think y'all quite understand, or if you did understand, you really wouldn't care, the stress you are under when your football coach that has the ability to put you in and take you out of the game is also your economics teacher. An economics class you must pass in order to get your diploma. A lot of stress. Because if I was acting up in class or didn't do well in class, I could impact my playing time. But we had a project, and basically the entire class was one project, and it was a semester-long project. You got an arbitrary amount of money, and you had to invest that money that you got. This is for the economics class. This is back in 1991 now. Way before, 30-plus years before you had a requirement of any kind of financial literacy in schools, which I come to find out we just have right now, probably going into effect the upcoming 24-25 school year, okay? We got an arbitrary amount of money, and we had to select 10 stocks. There was no internet back then, ladies and gentlemen. You had to check the newspaper. This is back when stocks were represented in fractions, not even decimals. Right? So you had to pick 10 stocks. And you had to follow all 10 stocks every single day for an entire semester. Every single day. And you had to graph the performance of your stocks every day for a whole semester. And you put it on this gigantic poster board, and you tracked your 10 stocks over a semester, and that was the class. I was 17 years old, and I knew how to invest in the stock market. Flash forward. When I was in my senior year at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, you want to talk about diversity and inclusion efforts that were way before their time. There was a program that was funded by the Milwaukee Idea. Go research it. I ain't got time to tell you about it. It ultimately was a federal grant from the Clinton administration where they wanted to make sure that black students in particular had all of the necessary supports and resources they need to stay in college. This is back when this nation actually valued higher education because they realized people with higher education will contribute more to society than they will ever take. And so we had these internships. And the internships that we had via the Milwaukee Idea, which was a federal grant from the Clinton administration that was given to UW-Milwaukee and probably other schools that had a real major problem retaining black students. Back then, if a black freshman started at UWM, there was a 60% chance that they would either drop out their freshman year or certainly never graduate. Really alarming statistics. So there were federal dollars allocated by the U.S. Department of Education. Donna Shalala, she used to be a former, I think she was the chancellor of UW-Madison. Bill Clinton picked Donna Shalala to be his Secretary of Education. So obviously Wisconsin colleges and universities were going to benefit greatly from a Wisconsinite being in the Clinton administration. So I got this internship with a community development corporation. You got to keep this in mind. Now, this is almost quarter century ago, 24 years ago. No, 25 years ago. Where I had a paid internship where I learned about building nonprofit organizations, and I was working for a nonprofit organization that's, believe it or not, that sought to create more black homeowners in the north side of the city of Milwaukee, between 20th Street, 8th Street, Walnut, and Locust, in that area. There was a focus. That's what the organization that I interned for. The organization itself, now remember, this is in 1998, 1999. The organization paid me $7.50 an hour 25 years ago. The university matched it. I was making $15 an hour, 20 hours a week, a quarter century ago. I didn't have any bills. I don't even know. I had a cell phone. That was it. I didn't have no credit cards. I was living at home with my parents while I finished my degree. I wasn't paying rent. When I graduated from college, because of that internship, I had $3,000 in the bank. And that was the point. They offered it to last year social science majors at UW-Milwaukee that were black, because they knew with a social science major, we weren't going to be pulling down major money with our degrees in sociology and psychology and all that other stuff. But when I graduated, I had $3,000, which was a lot of money back then, especially for a college kid. And also the organization in which I had my internship hired me. They paid me $33,000 a year. My first job out of college, just a bachelor's degree. I interned with them for a semester or a year. Can't remember. I thought I was rich. There's people right now in 2020, almost 24, that aren't making $33,000 a year. That was my first salary job. I ain't going to tell you how much I made at jobs after that, but I feel comfortable telling you how much I made. That was money back then. That seriously was. I bought a new car. I thought I was so rich. Probably not the smartest choice with my money, but come on, you only live once, right? And so I had $3,000 in the bank, free and clear, no bills, none. I put that money in the stock market. Why? Because I had an economics class taught by my football coach my junior year that was required for me to graduate from high school. What I learned in that class gave me a purpose and a reason for the $3,000 that I had free and clear after I graduated. Now, keep in mind, I also had a job that compensated me well at the time. The rest is history. So you wonder why I talk about stocks and bonds and investing and options trading. I've been doing it since I was a child. I want more of us to have that kind of knowledge. And I think this piece of legislation, Bill 109, that did get overwhelming support, bipartisan support, in the Wisconsin State Assembly and Senate. I'm glad it came to fruition. So maybe, just maybe, there is a child somewhere who will grow up here in Wisconsin that will know what to do with money when they get some. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The award-winning 101.7 The Truth is the proud home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. Tune in Tuesday night at 6 p.m. as we will have our City Conference Coaches Show hosted by Lance Davis. Lance will speak with 4 City Conference coaches about how the season has gone so far and break down everything you need to know about City Conference basketball. Again, that is the Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Coaches Show Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, it's Jason Wildig for Associated Bank. Looking for a bank with home field advantage? You got it. At Associated Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors. That's why scoring a Packers checking account is the right play for your pay. And here's the kicker. Your Packers debit card gets you 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop. Join the team today. Open your Packers checking account at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. Associated Bank, the bank of the Packers since 1919. Your money works here. Member FDIC.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
The summer of 2023 will not soon be forgotten as the impact of climate change blanketed our city, literally. Canadian wildfire smoke gave Milwaukee some of the worst air quality in the nation, if not the world. Also, these impacts, because of climate change, showed us that there's yet another disparity for us to be concerned about. African Americans are much more likely to have respiratory illnesses, and black children are much more likely to have asthma. In fact, the Office of Emergency Management data shows a disproportionate amount of calls for respiratory issues because of that wildfire smoke, at 54.8% have been from African Americans. African Americans have higher rates of pre-existing health conditions that would be exacerbated by the particulate matter in that wildfire smoke that we know was caused from lightning and extreme drought conditions to our neighbor to the north in Canada. Black children are much more likely to have asthma than kids of any other races in America, and much more likely to live near polluting plants and in rental housing with mold and other triggers because of the racist housing policies in the nation's past. Their asthma is often more severe and less likely to be controlled because of poor medical care and the mistrust of doctors. Just when we thought we had all the disparities we could shake a stick at, here we go again with Canadian wildfire smoke as an extension of climate change negatively impacting African Americans. Climate change is a global issue. It is a national issue. It's a local issue. Admittedly, the black policy struggle for equality has not focused on climate change, but if the summer of 2023 has showed us anything, now it certainly should be.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Four 414-204 says, didn't I tell y'all don't text my cell phone no more? Our talk and text line is back up. You know what it is? They don't want to register. Because now to text 833-212-1017, you got to register. Please do that. Please register because it makes it easier for us to have your information if you win a prize. I hope we start giving stuff away again. We used to give away stuff. Well, we give away the 5Gs. But once we switch from giving away the $101.70 to giving away $5,000, we've just given away less prizes altogether. We used to give away like little packages, little hotel stays, little concert tickets. Make 1017 The Truth great again. Let's give away more stuff. 414-204 said, did y'all have junior achievement in middle and high school? That organization focused on financial literacy and stocks. So we did, but it seemed like it was selective. I remember junior achievement at the time because that was in the 80s. The kids that were in junior achievement were weird. And they were weird at the time. They're probably all millionaires and very successful now. But those were the kind of kids that wore and I went to public school. I only went to public schools, public universities. But those were kids, the kids in junior achievement back at Brown Deer Middle School back in the day wore like ties to work. You know what I'm saying? They wore like dress shoes. Everybody else wore tennis shoes and jeans. They dressed differently. Let's talk to Linda. How are you, Linda?
Good morning. Good morning, Professor Sherwin Hughes. And good morning, good Karma Brand, and all the black and white good people in Milwaukee. It's a beautiful day out, and this is a very provocative subject, Sherwin. But yeah, I want to first say that I have 3 points about my charter school, which will focus on Dr. DeGroo's model that's adapted in, I think it's the Philadelphia school system, and teaching black boys and girls about their African history is my objective. Because it has been proven that in a failing school district in Philadelphia. These kids, once they learned about their African history, not German history, not European whitewashed history, African history, these kids excelled. And as far as the black women issue, Sherwin, you said you like it straight, and I do too, by the way. So I want to say that I come to heal our division between the black man and the woman, and from the psychological, and social and spiritual deprivation of slavery that has gotten us here. We have come through so much. Come on now, we are a miraculous people, and they still trying to take us out. Hello, somebody. Something there. And then, too, I wanted to elaborate on this mythology, regarding the black woman, especially spaghetti. Come on, let's cancel that, because where's the data that shows spaghetti is detrimental to a black man? Let's be real. What it boils down to is his little Mr. Goodbar got caught up in Miss Happy, and he just lost his it just touched nerves that he just could not process. That's all it was and is. And then I want to talk about the
I think a lot of people may not understand what you just said about the whole spaghetti thing. There's a documentary that is must watch for literally every person that's alive right now. It's called Periodical. You probably can find it on the internet, and it talked about all of the myths and all the mystery that surround a woman's cycle and her getting her period. So what we were referring to, which a lot of folks may not know, is the quote unquote myth of what some women would do some time ago to get a man mesmerized by her. So you're asking where that came from. That was a real thing, because I have heard black women in my family talk about that even before I knew what the hell that was. Now, is it something that is probably old and antiquated? Probably. But a lot of what black folks do is stuck on tradition that predates our academic intelligence. So there's a documentary. I always get an opportunity to talk about this documentary. It's called Periodical. It aired on MSNBC a couple of weeks ago. It's still available online. Okay. But you only got like a minute left.
The only thing I like to say about that, though, is that, I heard about it. Like I said, I got a lot of my teachings from my brother and my god brothers, and I heard about that when I was like 15, 16. My brother's talking about it, and, and basically what my observation is from then till now and how it's being still perpetuated. I see no data. But I do see data.
Data on what? That a disproportionate number of black girls don't know about their period until they get it? Sherwin?
Okay, but can I finish? I do know that there are black men that, kind of like to taste that little num-num. But anyway, I'm going to go on and say that I do I do know data also that shows that girls from 14 to 18 start experiencing domestic violence from black boys. Well,
Linda, do you want to hang on? Because I absolutely have to take a break right now.
Data shows
Linda, I have to take a break. She just doesn't listen. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
Milwaukee, we are in the heart of the basketball season, and we have all the local hoops news you need to hear. Get your weekly smile on with our Nothing But the Truth Basketball Report, brought to you by Bouban Orthodontics. On Nothing But the Truth, we'll keep you in the loop on all the local Milwaukee hoops news, from high school all the way to the pros. So don't miss your shot to join in on the hoops talk by tuning into the Truth Basketball Report on Nothing But the Truth, right here on the new award-winning 1017 The Truth, brought to you by Bouban Orthodontics, the official smile of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Times of transition, whether from a sad event or a joyful one, can leave us feeling adrift. Social connections are an important part of a healthy life. Being isolated and lonely can be harmful to your health. It can lead to high blood pressure, a greater risk of heart disease, and early onset dementia. So it's important to build and maintain connections to people, not just in your family, but others whose relationships bring meaning to your life. Trying a new hobby, volunteering, exercising, even using your phone or other device to stay in touch with others. All these can be great ways to keep up your social connections and your physical and mental well-being. Visit connecttoeffect.org to see if you're at risk of social isolation and find ways to get connected. Presented by AARP Foundation with support from United Healthcare.
We didn't know what to expect. We were just left in a hotel.
My mom was doing drugs in the house.
Tay and Brianna spent years of their childhood in homes that weren't safe. They were placed in foster care and longed for a permanent, loving home.
I didn't know what my future was.
I wouldn't speak to anyone. I was afraid of everything.
With help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, Brianna and Tay were adopted and now feel excited about their futures.
I'm studying to be a chef, and I really want to travel the world.
I'm going to be a mechanic, and I can focus on my career.
Right now, in the United States, there are more than 100,000 children in foster care, just like Brianna and Tay, who need a family now. Learn how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I am going to talk about feminism this hour, because I told y'all in the beginning I was going to. We're going to talk about it. But I don't want to be rude to Linda, because you know what, Linda? A lot of folks thought that because I was giving you a dose of reality yesterday and I was being very honest with you about the hill that you have to climb to bring this school to fruition. And the issue that I have with it is that that's me being honest, because it's insurmountable. I'm not saying it's impossible, but there's a lot of hidden traps that you won't find until you actually get deep into the process. And because I attempted to be honest with you, people got mad at me that I was honest with you. And what I'm not going to do is treat women like they are less than, because I would talk to you about your endeavor like I would talk to a man. But people want to hear me say, no, Sherwin, you got to be nice to her. She has an idea. You got to love on her because she has an idea. Don't be mean. Don't do all that. That is not how it works in the real world of fairness and equality. I was talking to you like I would talk to any man that had said business endeavor. But here, I want you to do something, Linda. I'm going to help you. I want to help you out. Let me tell you how I'm going to help you. That's going to require work on your part. I'm going to say this little thing about how I want to help you, and then we're going to get back to what you want to talk about.
Wait, let me get my notepad and pencil.
It's very quick. It's very easy. I want you to start a GoFundMe page, if you don't have one already. And I want you to spell out. I want people to be able to read the details of the curriculum of your school that you have been sharing with us for well over a year. I want you to put this on the GoFundMe page, okay? And then I want you to share that link, share it with me, share it with everybody, okay? And all of these people that love you, that hear you, that believe in what you're doing, that like your idea, I want to see how many of them give you money. And so while I may have been critical and harsh yesterday, the people that say they support you, that want to see your school come to fruition, I guarantee won't give you a dime. So I want you to raise money from our people that will benefit from what you're trying to do more than anybody else. So you would think that our people in our community would want to invest. So start a GoFundMe. It's easy and it's free. And I want to see how much money all these people that say, oh, I was mean to you and I'm not being helpful. Let's see how helpful they are. Because our community got money to spend. Let's see if they'll invest it in you trying to do something for our future.
I appreciate that. And I, too, like it straight. I wasn't offended. I was not offended.
Everybody else was, though.
Yeah. Well, that's everybody else. But as far as I'm concerned. That's why I wanted to talk to you with the meeting of the minds, but you keep trying to take it to the sexual thing, and that's not where
Linda,
I'm
you're the
coming
one
from.
that you started all this, and you got half of the damn city think that we're an
I
idol.
did not.
Linda,
No,
you
Sherwin,
don't
let
remember
me
calling a
take you
couple of
back.
years ago talking about Sherwin, I'm painting our bedroom. Remember that?
No, I didn't, Sherwin. Let me correct your memory. I called in. The first time I called, I said I was thinking about you when I was falling asleep. And then you was like, oh, she want me. No, I was thinking about the subject matter, the content of what you was talking about. So me being a creative person that I am and a teacher, I went with it, and your listeners liked it. So we just roll with it. That's all.
Linda, you told everybody under the sun that you were painting our bed. Did you paint your bedroom in the last year or two?
I didn't say it was ours.
Yes, you did.
I said I did. I did a DIY with my bedroom, my kitchen, and the linoleum floors, the tiles on the kitchen walls, all of that. Yes, I did, and that's how our conversation got going and stuff. You know, because people partying, I'm up doing my house.
Linda, you ain't got a
Renovating my
bedroom.
house.
You got a freak room.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I put a red light in there.
See?
But this is me coming into my sexual identity. Because remember, I got pregnant at 15, and I beat all the odds. And so now I don't have anyone but me. So now I get to discover all of that sexuality and, energy and who I am as a black woman. Don't you know, when you was talking about the population we talked about, how the white population is declining because white trash takes out itself. But I'm just saying, it is predicted that we're going to all come back to the black population. And guess what? It's going to be one day where it's just God and the black woman again, the way it started millions of years ago.
Linda, I bet you call your bedroom the cockpit.
No. You know what, Sherwin?
Huh.
I would love to join Hughes views, but since you sent me that Trump meme saying that I'm a pervert, I'm not going to join, because I think that we can bring a lot of, entertainment and education to a private platform. But you offended me, so.
Do you honestly think that you've never offended me?
And that's why I'm still talking to you, because we need to let each other know how to communicate our feelings, our offenses, because I was been called a heifer. You called me a heifer. I was called a heifer all my childhood.
Did you do or say something
When I
heiferish?
applied for my license plate, they asked me my name. I said heifer.
Linda, I don't remember calling you a heifer. Did you do something heiferish?
I never heard it like that.
I mean, did you?
Last week. Yeah, last week.
And then you do something heiferish, and then I call you a heifer, and then you get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger, Linda. I have a call waiting. I want to give you as much time as possible because you always think I'm cutting you off. At certain times of the hour, I literally have to turn off the mics and go.
I know. That's why I got to find a better time to call you.
The end of the hour is a bad time. Beginning of the hour is great. Middle of the hour is fine. End of the hour, not good.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk.
All right, then. Go start a GoFundMe page and watch your people that say they support you not give you a dime. Let's talk to Lisa. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, Sherwin. How you doing, Sherwin?
Oh, Lisa, hold on. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, I'm good. I'm better now. I've been sick. I just got out the hospital yesterday, but was it yesterday or Sunday? Oh, that narcotic is special. I think it's Sunday. Yeah, I got a Sunday. Yep. Today's Tuesday. Yep, Sunday I got at the hospital.
Did they happen to give you any medication to take home with you?
No, not this time. The pain it's not bad this time. Oh, about time. That's my 15th surgery. Calm down.
It's a lot of surgeries.
Ooh. Yeah, it is. How you doing, Sherwin?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
I said I haven't looked. I said I haven't heard my Sherwin, and I can't tell when. I haven't called in to say hi to the people, and anything else. But hello, people. I miss you guys. Just listening to your comments.
They all say hello, and they miss you too, Lisa. We hope that you're taking good care of yourself.
How you know they say hi? Did they just say hi on live stream?
Because I know my people.
You know your people?
Yes.
Hey, yeah. You're right, because I was listening to you about Linda. Linda, unfortunately, he is correct. Unless they are donating to celebrities. You got to be a celebrity to do something like that. Like if Beyonce said she wanted to school or, somebody like that. And, black people are like, whoa! Oprah said she wanted to school. Whoa, they're donating. Yeah, you got to be somebody like that. Other than that, you got to, go to the business places where you go get business by minority loans and things like that to help you. Because our people are special. I don't know. We're special. We're different in giving. We don't give. We just don't. We don't give.
We talk a lot. I wish we talked less and acted more.
Exactly, more. Yeah.
People will pray for you all day long, but if you ask them for some money, an investment to help you with your endeavor, then all of a sudden their pockets is like rabbit ears. But they'll pray for you and wish for the best, but they won't actually put their money where their mouth is.
And I hope that Linda is a reincarnated mother of Jesus, Mary, because you got to be perfect. Look what they did to Omar, Dr. Omar. Built the money up, and then somebody said something, then give my money back. I'm like, black people, why do y'all do that?
He got a little weird. He and I used to talk frequently. I used to interview him all the time. He used to love coming to Milwaukee because he come to Milwaukee and he talked that talk to get us all fired up and enthusiastic. And then he would hit us for donations for his school. And quite honestly, people loved giving to him because it was almost like going to church. Like he was the pastor. He'd lead a sermon. And at the end of his talk, he would ask people for money and they would donate. Problem is, he's been doing that for a really, really, really long time, and he is no closer to getting a school than he was when he started. He said he only needed $250,000. He would raise that money inside of a year or two, and so which is cool. We know that like things happen, things become more difficult, things change, but he's not even updating us on the progress. And that was at least 10 years ago when he started that idea for the school. So the question is, brother, where's the school? That's all.
Well, you got to go through a lot of stuff, a lot of red tape. You know that when you're trying to do anything. They don't want black people to have school.
We also come to find out he's not a real doctor. He got involved in some questionable stuff. There was a stripper involved. Literally nothing wrong with that. But if you're a public figure and you're raising money from the people, you got to not get caught up with strippers. It looked bad. That's all.
You know what, Sherwin? Look. Nobody's perfect. See, that's why politics, they want people, your leaders, to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Come on.
Yeah, but we want them to be better than us, Linda. That's the whole point. Look, we want people that are not as messed up as us.
No, I don't want you to be better than me. I want you to be the same. I want us to, to agree to disagree and everything. Now, what you do in your private life, I don't care if you have strippers and dogs and cows and you
dogs and cows. That's too far.
Look, I don't care what you do, but as long as you with the community and you're handling what the community is asking you to do for, then you good with me. I don't care what you do in your private life. I don't care. What does that got to do with the community?
How do you feel about
you bring that community?
How do you feel about the gays, Lisa? Do you like the gays and the transgenders and the lesbians?
I have no problem with the gays. They people. I love you too. Good. I don't hate you, but the only issue I have with transgenders, which I talked to a transgender man.
Okay.
Which I respected. He said, I am a man. I know who I am. I cannot change that. But, he's a transgender. He wants to be a woman. But he said, I know I'm not a woman, but I'm a man. See, Men like that, but when the transgenders get too carried away and talking about now we're going to take away a woman being called a woman, she's no longer a woman. All that. Look, now y'all going too far. Don't type. Now look, we got an issue there because look, I don't want to do too much in his body, and I refuse to give up my womanhood. I refuse. No. It's not going to happen. You're not going to take that away from me. Just because they can go in there, cut off some body parts, and give you some pills, and you're still not a woman.
Well, Linda, you can identify as a woman, but you also, because we don't want to offend people that weren't born biological women, so we call you birthing people. You're a birthing person.
I don't care. I don't care about offending you. It is what it is.
You're a birthing person. I'm a non-birthing person.
No, I am not a birthing person. Okay, so you can birth?
No,
you're gonna go there.
I said as a man, I'm a non-birthing person. As quote unquote, you identify as a woman, but I can't just use that term blanket. I got to say a birthing person because a man can have a baby. Because a transgender man is a man, and a man still has ovaries. They still have all the piping, so they can still have a baby. So I can't call that man a woman. That man is a birthing person. You know what I mean? Okay.
No, I don't. You don't lost me. Whenever I see a man can give birth, ooh, I want to see it. I'm going to be right there in the middle with his legs wide open. I want to see everything.
No, you don't, Linda. I'm not talking about transgender stuff today because I got to talk about feminism today. But I did see. Hold on a second, Lisa. I got to tell you what I saw. So I saw a man, like facial features of a man, full beard. Okay. Kind of broad shoulders, looked like a man, but then they scrolled down and they were 7 months pregnant. It was literally a man. It was a transgender man, but was pregnant, and it was just I'd never seen anything like that before, and I was just stunned because I'd never seen it before. But that's a real thing. Men can get pregnant.
Oh, okay. You mean women can get pregnant?
Men can have vaginas.
Okay, yeah,
and
they
men can menstruate, and men therefore can have children. That's a birthing person that identifies as a man.
I bet you he didn't have a pocketbook.
No, he had a wallet.
No, he didn't have a wallet. He can't have no wallet. Oh yeah, he got a wallet or pocketbook, because he can't have no pipe. He can't have a pipe. So he wasn't fully transformed.
Okay, we got to stop this because we're going to offend somebody. I don't want to offend anybody, Lisa.
Look, it's the truth. Come on, guys. Whether it hurts you, because it's all about their feelings. It is it's okay. If I saw a pregnant man, okay, I'm not gonna. I'm like, girl, I'm not gonna offend it, but I know it's a woman. I'm not. I can't see you as a man. It's just impossible for my vision and my mind, and for the Creator to disrespect him in that manner. To do that. I'm not going to stop giving man power. Stop giving him the things that he wants. And it doesn't make sense. Stop doing it. That's why the world is in chaos. Stop it. I love you. I really, truly do. But it is what it is. It's a fact.
Well, Lisa, now, I know that you want to give us many more facts, but your favorite person, Al, is on hold, and I got to take a commercial break.
Al. Hey, Al, I love you. Okay, take the break. I love you, Sherwin.
Oh, we love you too.
I know. No, thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day, people. Love you.
Yay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. JD, the official poet laureate, says, I thought Bob and Linda were the only ones with the same weed man. It appears Lisa utilizes his services as well. No lies detected. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube. How? Every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 101.7 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
Unleash the spirit of Ujamaa. Join CLAW for their pre-Kwanzaa workshop, celebrating cooperative economics and vibrant African culture. On Sunday, December 17th, join CLAW for an enriching day of food, fun, and entertainment to explore the principle of Ujamaa. Listen to their workshop speakers, see the captivating drum and dance performances, along with exciting raffle and door prizes. To register, visit eventbrite.com and search CLAW so you can be a part of this vibrant celebration and embrace the principles of Kwanzaa.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a job? Direct Connect MKE is a social media style platform that empowers you to grow your social network, find career opportunities, and connect with career specialists for success. Visit joindcmke.com today to learn how you can create a profile, upload your resume, and find access to information about jobs, job training, hiring events, and more. DCMKE is locally focused and equips you to grow your social capital and find opportunities that match your career interests. Visit joindcmke.com today and connect your dream to reality.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is 1017 The Truth's Tory Lowe, and the time is now, Milwaukee. I believe the people who listen to the Tory Lowe Show are ready for real change in the community and love to bring all the smoke. Tap in, Truth Nation, to the Tory Lowe Show every day from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The movement continues. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune in to Nothing But the Truth today as Carrie, Noni, and Benjamin will be joined by comedian and Saturday Night Live alum Jay Farrow. I know I'm tuning into that. Jay Farrow will discuss his comedy career, how he became so darn good at impersonations, and his upcoming comedy shows at the Milwaukee Improv on December 15th through the 17th. Again, that is comedian and Saturday Night Live alum Jay Farrow on Nothing But the Truth today at noon on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And the award-winning 1017 The Truth is the home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. Tune in tonight at 6 p.m. as we have our City Conference Coaches Show, hosted by Lance Davis. Lance will speak with 4 City Conference coaches about how the season is going so far and break down everything you need to know about City Conference basketball. Again, that is the Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Coaches Show tonight at 6 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. City Conference basketball, sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. I'm going to read a YouTube comment. Al, hang on, I'm coming. Just chill out, Al. Kiana said, I don't have any money, but I'm definitely not above volunteering my time. I'm more than qualified to work with children, adults, and families as a whole. It's all I've done from 2004 to 2022. Kiana, was that you that sent me a snapshot of your check stub that was $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 for a week? And that's just your money. That's not even your husband's money. Kiana, you got money. Talking about all of a sudden that's what Black folks do. We'll show you how much money they make. Oh, I love that you did that, Kiana. We still got it. No, that was in the old text messaging software. Kiana sent a screenshot of one of her check stubs, right? But then like, hey, can you donate some money to Linda's cause? Oh, I don't got no money. And the whole reason why she sent the screenshot of her check stub was to prove she has money. And now all of a sudden she want to volunteer. Y'all tripping. What? We do? We do? I don't know. Who is? Oh, that's bad. Do you know anything about that? Why are you whispering? Is anybody in the producer studio with you? I probably should have checked my email. Damn. So am I not going to be able to talk about feminism? I'm jogging my memory right now. Am I getting too old to do this job? All right, let's talk to Al. Hello, Al. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. What I was going to ask you first is with the stuff you were talking about, the slavery. I was going to say just as well as we give respect to the slaves who suffered, we also need to give respect to those who fought back. Because I know a lot of times when it comes to the slaves who fought back, a lot of times people's voice get real soft. So I think the people like Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Aunt Polly Jackson, and Jasmine Brand, we should also give respect to them as well as those revolutionaries. Because if I'm not mistaken, if it wasn't for them, black people wouldn't be allowed to be in the army. So I would say we should also give respect to them, including the one gentleman who went down to 5th District. Because it shows love, honor, and respect for someone that you feel that's dear to your heart. Moving forward, I was going to say with Miss Linda, if I was going to ask you, if I make a donation for $200, would you match it next Friday and I would drop it off to the office?
Why you put me on the spot like that?
Well, the reason why I asked you, because what it would show is, it would show to racist people, including these people who are highly religious, it would show that you don't have to be a good person to be religious. The only thing you would have to do is do from your heart. And by you doing that, you will be showing the world that you find value in your own people. Now, let me put this disclaimer. You just can't go around giving money to people because you know how some people say they doing this and they're using to buy Dooney and Burke purses and pay rent and all that. But what I was saying, what you would be basically doing is laying the foundation and showing that, you know, Mr. Hodges would invest his $200 just to show that I'm more than just talk, because we always talk about, hey, we need to invest in our own, and I will bring $200 down there too, only if you match it.
So you ain't, no, you ain't bringing the money down here. Linda's going to start a GoFundMe account, and that is how people are going to donate. I'm going to provide, if Linda gets this thing off the ground, which we're not sure if she really has yet, then I will provide her with institutional knowledge. But I ain't matching money yet.
Well, okay,
let Linda get $5,000, then I'll start matching. Put it that way. Because what's going to happen, Al, is you're going to give $200, I'm going to give $200, and Linda's going to have only $200 in her fund to start a $30 million school. It needs to be established that people believe in it and they actually start giving, because right now all people are doing is talking.
Okay, well, and that's perfectly fine. So I just wanted to, share that information with you. And then, this other thing about the birthing person, I think that's going a little too far. That's just my personal opinion, because if she is a woman and she probably just look like, Barry White or something, she still has female genitalia. So she's pretty much a FTM, a female to male. So for me, if I see a person, I'm not going to say you're a birthing person. I would ask, what is her name? Whatever name you want me to call you. But I think sometimes when it starts, you put names and pronouns, he, she, binary, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, hip hop, skibbity, bip bop, bip bop. I think the stuff gets all taken out of context.
Al, you're going to offend somebody.
No, that's not offending nobody. Because, see, this is why stuff is all out of context.
Al, you can't say when you're not offending somebody. That's only for the offended to comment on.
Well, I understand, but I'm just saying, I'm not going to communicate with nobody like no cat, no cow, nothing. I'm like, what is your name? Okay, if she's a FTM, what would you like me to call you? I think it's very rude and disrespectful to call somebody a birthing person. They're not an animal. They're a human being. They have a name. That's all I'm saying. So when we start putting all this stuff on, we're blowing stuff out of context, because what they're doing is they have another agenda to use a loophole to push another motive. That's all I'm saying. But there's nothing wrong with FTMs because they good and tight too. And one of these old wise men said, if you want to act like you want to get with a virgin, go mess with a lesbian because they're untouched. And the throwback and the gripping power is euphoric.
I need you
to share.
And you need to relax on that. That was a little much.
Well, I didn't say nothing rude and disrespectful. We're talking about the laws and lessons of life. But I want you to have yourself a wonderful day, and the same with the listeners. Happy Tuesday. Get some of this sunshine and go for a walk and get some of that vitamin D. It helps the skin and release the tension. Take care.
Thank you, Al. I appreciate your call. I have a feeling the vitamin D he's talking about is not the hormone nor the supplement. Let's talk to Nicole. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you, Nicole?
Hi, Sherwin. Good afternoon. Good morning still, and thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to let you know, thank you for playing. When I turned on the radio, I wasn't ready to hear the voices of the slaves, but I thank you for playing that, because I think oftentimes that we know that everything exists, but oftentimes we do kind of forget the pain and the struggle. You can kind of hear it in their voices, even though, right? The one gentleman did say he has no worries, but I wasn't prepared for that. It kind of made me cry a little bit, but thank you for playing that, because we do need to be reminded. I also wanted to jump in because I heard Al mention that if you were to give $200 to Miss Shack's efforts towards her school, that he would match it, and I would too. So I don't know if you said yes or no, because as soon as he said that, I jumped on the phone and I didn't hear, so I didn't know if you agreed to that.
We are going to let Linda get those pieces set up. She still needs to set up a platform where people can donate. So let's see what she does. If she does that, then we can have a conversation about donate. But here's the thing. I can't use this program to promote what she's doing, because in the event that it doesn't work, people are going to blame me. Right. But what she can do is make it available publicly on her Facebook page. People can read about it. If they choose to donate, we're going to do it that way. So we'll let her see if she's going to set it up.
Yeah, but I most definitely, if she sets it up, I most definitely would love to donate to her cause, because I started a charter school before, but I didn't do it solely. I did it underneath the organization. I was able to leverage their funds. So I just wish her all best of luck. Anything is possible, and I hope it comes to fruition. So that's basically it for me, Sherwin.
All right. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate your call. All right. Bye-bye, Nicole. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Make sure you download the free 101.7 The Truth app so you can stream this program and all the programs across our lineup to your smartphone or your mobile device. That is the 101.7 The Truth app. And The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the WIAA, are the 178,000 high school sports students in Wisconsin. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think. Stargardt disease was supposed to define me.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down.
A blinding eye disease attempted to force me away from doing what I was born to do.
But it cannot stop me. I have the tools.
I will keep moving forward.
Pushing past the limits of this disability.
I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Loss of sight won't blind our vision. Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community.
The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Starlight Children's Foundation brightens the lives of sick kids like my son Finn, who was born with congenital heart disease. Learn more about Starlight by visiting starlight.org today.
For general contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hi, I'm Sherwin Hughes for Axe Housing. Did you know that your mortgage can be a lot less than what you're paying for rent? If you work with Axe Housing, you can be paying as little as $800 a month for your mortgage. In fact, Axe Housing will pair you up with a coach. They'll put together a plan for you, a budget. They can even get you more money for down payment assistance. Here's what you do. You're going to go to axhousing.org, actshousing.org, and you can get started on a virtual home buying orientation. It is very, very simple. It's very, very informative, and it is worth it. Do not let where you are financially today at this moment get in the way of your bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help. That is axhousing.org. And additionally, if you're a contractor, please get in contact with Axe Housing as they need to hire additional contractors to help them fix up and renovate homes. Again, that is axhousing.org. And I think that's all. No, nothing else. All right. This instrumental is actually DJ Quick. Did you see the 50th anniversary Grammy tribute to hip hop? Oh my God. Music. The hip hop, like I'm the same age roughly as hip hop. Hip hop is, so when I was a freshman, hip hop would have been like a junior. I grew up with a genre of music, and to see the tributes and to see those artists, to see my favorite, to see the Far Side, to see the Diggable Planets, Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff were there. The Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff reunited again. And Will Smith, he was in rare form. He looked ready to slap. I said, don't get too close to Will Smith. He'll slap now. He'll slap without warning. Keep my DJ's name out your mouth. Slap. If Will Smith ever asks you this question, don't answer it. If he ever asks you, what did the five singers say to the face? No, I messed it up. What did the five fingers say to the face? Don't answer that because that means slap. It was good. So one of my very good friends, known for a very long time, DJ D Nice, he actually DJ'd the tribute to our fallen, our hip hop pioneers that are no longer with us. And he was DJing the music of just a slew of hip hop pioneers that have passed away. And he was doing it with Dougie Fresh. And so I texted D while he was killing it. And so I texted him. And it clearly must have been a delay because I promise to God, the man texted me back while he was DJing at the Grammys 50th anniversary trip. Why you say I couldn't believe it, Rhea? So I literally posted the screenshot of him texting me back, and it's timestamped. You don't even know who D-Nice is, Rhea. Stop it.
No, I don't.
You acting real froggy today because you dressed like a registered voter. Like you look like a normal person today, and now you getting all up in my business. Dressed like a voter one day, and all of a sudden you going to discredit me.
I vote in almost every election, sir.
Yeah, but you don't look like it. You look like you have a cardboard box as a home. And no shade to the homeless. But most days you come in here like, y'all got some change. I'll wash your windows. Coming in here late. It rained and your cardboard box just got all messed up. You coming in here mad. Coming in here with straw in your hair. It's grass clippings. See, I'm trying to talk about feminism. And this, is Zach in there?
No, he left.
Okay. I really don't want to have the discussion with you about the food buffet at a strip club and how I thought it was weird when men were eating hot dogs. It just looks weird. You know what I mean? So a long time ago, a certain gentleman's club to get people to come in during the day would offer a catered free lunch buffet. And it wasn't bad food at all. They have like Salisbury steak and potatoes and meatloaf and chicken breasts and teriyaki chicken. Sometimes they'd have a taco bar. Why wouldn't you go? You know what I mean? But what happened was people would go there. They paid a cover charge, whatever, like $10. They'd eat and then they'd leave. They wouldn't like buy drinks or anything. So it was just, it's probably an unusual concept to most people.
Yeah.
They don't do it anymore because it wasn't cost effective for them. They think, oh, if we can, we'll have the lunchtime, the lunch hour catered, people will come in and they'll spend money on other things in the strip club. Well, they didn't. They just get full and go back to work.
It's just a strange place to spend your time in the middle of a day.
Yep, probably. But if you're on a lunch break or if your work day is done, why not? But you got to keep in mind with schedules like these. Now, my schedule is way different now than when I first started doing radio. My day was done at noon. I had nothing else to do. All your friends are at work, right? Who wants to go home at noon and just do nothing? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of gentlemen's clubs serve food. That's not unusual. It's just not free because they want to keep you there. Because somebody might go, like bars and while they have restaurants, while they have kitchens, because they don't want you to leave to go somewhere else to eat. They want to keep you in house and make as much money off you as possible. It makes a lot of sense. Okay. All right. Where are we at? How is it only 16 minutes left in the show and I didn't even get to the topic? All right, let's do it. Let me see. Hang on. Everybody relax. I don't even know what I did with it. There we go. The first organized movement aimed at gaining rights for women effectively began July 1848 with the convention organized by Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucretia Mott at Seneca Falls, New York. Attendees signed the Declaration of Sentiments, which affirmed women's equality with men and passed a dozen resolutions calling for specific rights, including the right to vote. Although the early women's rights movement was linked to abolitionism, passage of the 15th Amendment in 1870 angered some women's rights leaders who resented black men being granted suffrage before white women. Let me pause right there because I want you all to know this. The modern feminist has to know the 4 waves of feminism. And I have talked about this before, but I talked about it just objectively. Like I just gave you like this matter-of-fact details about the 4 different waves of feminism. Here's what I'm going to vow to do. We are going to complete this topic because it's very, very interesting. On the 4 waves of feminism. There's no way I'm going to be able to complete all of these today. The modern feminist has evolved from a movement of white women that were upset that black men got the right to vote first simply because they were men. So the movement we have today, and we can have this discussion, and I'm looking forward to it. It just won't be in its entirety today. The feminist movement has always been a white woman's movement. And because they need more support for their movement, they want a diversity of women, just like any movement. Even a Black Lives Matter movement needs Latinos and Asians and rich people and poor people and homeowners and renters and educated and undereducated. It needs all of those people, okay? But the craftiness and covert agenda of the original feminist movement tells other women, you don't need your man. You don't need them. They're a part of the patriarchy. Join this movement. We need everybody. We need you all to vote. Vote in favor of women and women's rights. And that narrative makes a lot of sense because they can tell women, especially oppressed women, these men are a part of the patriarchy and they are holding you back. Vote with us. Join our movement. Those white women stayed married and their families were intact, but they were telling black women, you don't need your man. Abandon him. When you think about it, it's genius. They stayed married. They had houses. They had investments and retirement accounts. They had money. They had assets. They had inheritance. And if they did get divorced, they got alimony. They were telling, you got to understand like the spirit of the movement. Now, it has evolved, but its original intent, just like this country, the original intent of this country was to be basically a slave trading colony. Now, the country has evolved, but look at where black people are today. Still not where we should be. Not based upon the rights granted to all people in this nation. It is a movement that was spawned by an anger, a loathing of black men because they got the right to vote. But also fast forward to right now. Who got elected first in this country? This is deep for you. This is deep. I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to let you think about it while I take a commercial break. A black man got elected before a white woman. Black men had the right to vote. We were running for office and getting elected as early as like 1866, 1867 during Reconstruction. Women couldn't even vote for like 50 years after the first black man got elected. Black men, now obviously Jim Crow comes in, terrorist organizations like the KKK come in, whose only intent was to stifle black suffrage. But prior to the formation of those terrorist groups to stop black people from voting, we were running for office, getting appointed to elected office. I think back in the day, U.S. senators used to get appointed. We were politically empowered. Now, it didn't last long, but white women resented it because they wanted to get their due because they had stayed by their white men on the plantations while black people were being bought and sold and oppressed. White women literally sat back and watched while their husbands impregnated slave women and sometimes loved those children like their own. White women are like, okay, we're going to tolerate this because ultimately we're going to benefit from this and we're going to have the right to vote. Nope. You also got to keep in mind it is the same system that even to this day is oppressing white women because white women are having less children and white women have, like in per capita numbers, they have more abortions. And so white men, this was not a black man's movement. This was not a Latino man's movement to stifle a woman's right to choose. Was white men yet again taking revenge on their own women. But just know the roots of feminism started with white women's racism toward black men getting the right to vote. And even if you fast forward now, black men were elected before white women. We were able to run for office before white women. And in the presidency, a black man was elected before a white woman. And quite honestly, we might still be a long way off before we have, let alone a white woman president, a woman president at all. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. Tune in Tuesday night at 6 p.m. as we will have our City Conference Coaches Show hosted by Lance Davis. Lance will speak with 4 City Conference coaches about how the season has gone so far and break down everything you need to know about City Conference basketball. Again, that is the Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Coaches Show Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, it's Jason Wildig for Associated Bank. Looking for a bank with home field advantage? You got it. At Associated Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors. That's why scoring a Packers checking account is the right play for your pay. And here's the kicker. Your Packers debit card gets you 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop. Join the team today. Open your Packers checking account at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. Associated Bank, the bank of the Packers since 1919. Your money works here. Member FDIC.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
For the past few years, our team has been working tirelessly to address the issues that impact our community, from crime and violence to economic inequality and social justice. Through our interviews with local leaders, policymakers, and residents, we shed light on the challenges that Milwaukee faces and highlighted the innovative solutions that are making a real difference. We've also provided a platform for those whose voices have been ignored and silenced, ensuring that everyone has a seat at the table and shaping the future of our city. Thanks to our efforts, we have addressed the tough issues across Milwaukee, discussing ways to reduce crime and increasing access to vital resources and services. I believe that change starts on a grassroots level, and through our work, we are empowering individuals and organizations to make a positive impact in our communities. So tune in to the award-winning Tory Lowe Show and join us in our mission to create a better Milwaukee for us all. Together, we can build a brighter future for our city and residents. The Tory Lowe Show is making a positive impact on our community by raising awareness about important issues, providing a platform for marginalized voices to be heard, and inspiring action to take place towards positive change. Through thought-provoking discussions and engaging interviews, the show is encouraging dialogue and fosters a sense of unity and empowerment among community members. Join me every day from 1 to 4 on The Tory Lowe Show.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The Truth is home of Milwaukee Panthers basketball. Don't miss out on any of the basketball action by listening to Panthers basketball on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and all your favorite streaming platforms. The Panthers are back at home at the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena as they are set to take on the Longwood Lancers Wednesday night. Coverage begins at 6:30 with a 7 p.m. tip-off. You know, I feel like there's an inside joke there somewhere. The Longwood Lancers. Oh, who do you play for? Longwood. Why are you looking at me like that? I mean, Linda calls her bedroom the cockpit. So I don't know why you looking at the Longwood Lancers when it's very unusual. Do y'all know that Kiana just sent another screenshot of her check stub talking about she ain't got no money? Here, let's break it down. So from November 27th through December 3rd, Kiana, is this take home, Kiana? Yeah, I think so. She took home, so that's a week. She took home $1,163.84. On Monday, November 27th, she made $170.15. On Tuesday, November 28th, Kiana made $256.67. On Wednesday, November 29th, she only made $75.49. On Thursday, November 30th, she made $243.82. Oh, snap. Friday, December 1st, your girl made $417.70. On Saturday, December 2nd, she made $0. On Sunday, December 3rd, she made $0. So she took her weekends off. So in 5 days, she took home $1,163. And her husband works too. You know the husband that stole a tent from Walmart? Remember that? And then he called too. We were talking about shoplifting that day. He's like, I stole a tent. I was like, what? I walked out with it. And I set it up in the parking lot. We roasted some marshmallows. We was in the parking lot at the Walmart. You know the one at Midtown? The one that closed. I said, I'm just take this damn tent. What they gonna do to me? And the Walmart people came out and they said, sir, what are you doing? What you think I'm doing? What do it look like I'm doing? I'm camping. Get out of here. And the Walmart people are like, all right, nothing to see here. So we're going to talk about feminism tomorrow. How about we start the show with it? Maria, apparently people are amused by the fact that you sometimes look homeless. Not a homeless producer, Marquise said.
Look what you started.
Well, today you dress normal, which is great. How come? So when Ben and Carrie fill in for Melanie, the camera is on in the producer studio. How come you don't do that?
Because I'm not doing all that damn talking.
You don't have to talk. You talk a lot more now. Now that I know you can say stuff of value. Well, no, you usually just throw shade all the time. You should just make faces and disagree. Like, you actually can add color to the conversation instead of just being a hater. You used to just hate. Shut up, Sherwin. You think I don't see you in there? If I say something that you're unfamiliar with, you Google it immediately. You get a look on your face when you hear something that you don't believe. There's a grimace that you make because you'll hear it and you'll be like, oh, and then you get the search results and you'll be like, oh, he was right. That's fine. I'm used to people not believing me. Dion said, we still going to look for white people as our savior too. I was listening to you talk about how Dr. Howard Fuller was able to get funding for his school, and it made me think whites are the only ones writing those checks, not people of color. It's not enough black millionaires to help build our own education system. Dion, that's just where you're wrong. Black millionaires don't need to exist in order for us to invest in us. I know what kind of money y'all spend on nonsense. If we have a cause and we need to raise money for it, even if that cause is to help African Americans and white people for their guilt or for their passion or for their concern, if they're going to write checks, we accept them. Why do we have to accept checks from white people? Because black people ain't writing none. A lot of times, all y'all is offering is thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers don't build empires. They don't. Because I tried it. I prayed for my We Energies bill to get paid. Know what happened? We Energies cut it off. Like, oh, our prayer machine is down. Sorry, you got to pay the bill. I said, I can't. I'm going to pray on it. They're like, pray in the dark. And I did. We don't invest in us. Like, we'll be encouraging to somebody's idea, like, oh, they're going to start a black business. We're going to support their black business. Oh, my God, I can't wait. They invest their whole life savings, all the money they work for, all the little investments, mortgage their house, even sell their house to invest in their black business. And what happens? We don't go because of our negative perception of our own businesses. 414-574 says, Professor Hughes, you are overthinking the transgender thing, brother. If you can't figure out the sex of a person, just refer to them as their name and use no pronoun. What if you don't know their name? I don't get involved in that because I don't want to make a mistake. At some point, we are going to have a thoughtful conversation about the transgender issue. Just LGBTQIA plus. We got to have a conversation about it because a lot of us don't know. And here's the thing about that community. They're very open to having discussions because here's what I see. I'm going to leave y'all with this. The way we as black people, we're better now. But the way we talk about the gays and the lesbians and the queers and the I, intersex maybe, whatever that is, and the A, which is either asexual and androgynous, I'm not sure what those are. But the way we talk about them is eerily similar to how white racists talk about us. We have learned how to be bigoted from the best, but I don't think that we as black people should be in a position where we should be judgmental and prejudicial against anyone. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations